This message comes from Greenlight. Ready to start talking to your kids about financial literacy? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app that teaches kids and teens how to earn, save, spend wisely, and invest with your guardrails in place. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on your kids' spending with real-time notifications. Join millions of parents and kids building healthy financial habits together on Greenlight. Get started risk-free at greenlight.com/Wondery.
Looking for your best sleep ever? Sleep Number smart beds are literally made for you. They adapt to your changing needs. So whether you're dealing with sore muscles or running hot at night, your bed automatically adjusts for optimal comfort. Want softer, firmer, cooler, warmer? With personalized firmness settings and temperature control that cools up to 20 times faster than leading competitors, you'll get the perfect sleep environment every night. Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed? So you can choose your ideal comfort on either side. And now it's the Sleep Number Everything Smart Bed sale. Every smart bed and base are on sale during our Memorial Day event, up to 50% off, limited time, exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. See store or sleepnumber.com for details.
This is Reusse. You've been hearing my friend Josh Arnold, Mr. Money Talk, for years on the radio and Garage Logic podcast. With the new year approaching, I strongly recommend you sit down with Josh for your no-cost, no-obligation, 48-minute consultation on your investments, including your IRA and 401k. You can benefit from Josh's years of experience navigating different market and economic conditions, and he'll always give you straight talk and not sugar-coated advice. Give Josh a call now at 952-925-5608 to book your no-cost, no-obligation 48-minute consultation. That's 952-925-5608. You'll be glad that you did, and tell him Reusse sent you. Don't forget to ask, why is it 48 minutes, Josh?
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC, a security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice.
Patrick Reusse is a paid endorser. I wish I had some material for that. Get your thoughts on football in a moment, but I got to tell you something. I'm very hoarse today. Do you think it's because 2 days ago I had the COVID booster, the pneumonia shot, and the flu shot, all in the within 3 minutes of each other?
That's the hat trick right there.
I can't believe you're functioning.
I never felt anything from the flu shot this time. The other times when not the COVID shot. The other times it was like an hour of lightheadedness or something. This time nothing. I'm not even sure that they even gave it to me. It might have just been water or something because I didn't feel it at all. But anyway, that maybe that's why I'm so hoarse. So I don't know.
Before my football thoughts?
Now before your football thoughts.
Well, can I tell you something? The Minnesota professional women's hockey team. They beat New York yesterday 2-1. But you know where? In Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Yes, that's where the New
Well, why
York
are they
team.
called New York then?
Well, they got the franchise there, and Bridgeport is not exactly a suburb, but that's the arena they found to play in for now.
2,383 people.
Well, that's.
I thought they'd be in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, I don't think they.
Rent's a little high there.
Rent might be a little higher there.
Football observations.
They got the Knicks, and they got the Rangers both. So
did the Nets and the Islanders play in the same building? The Island got their own building, didn't they?
The Nets play in Brooklyn.
That's right. And the Island got their own new building.
Got a new, spiffy, beautiful building. Yeah. Yes, and they have put a very poor team in it to start with. Mm-hmm. So, yes.
Baltimore loses to Kansas City. Mm-hmm. Baltimore manic, undisciplined. Mm-hmm. I'm getting rid of, if I ran the team, that Flowers guy's gone today.
Zay is getting out of here.
Zay's gone. Pack your stuff. You're not. You can't play for us. The taunting call cost them more than they realize. that's my observation of that.
Now I got to ask you one other thing.
Yeah.
Do you think, I heard somebody suggesting today, Coward or somebody, how I got him, I don't know, but I was hitting the dial, and that they were trying to intimidate the Chiefs.
Well, there was a bit of that pregame.
And then some cheap shots and all that stuff. They thought they were going to roughhouse them and intimidate them. Because they made a lot of stupid plays. Not only that one, but there was 3 or 4.
Rokon Smith made a couple. Yeah.
Dumb. Now, they pointed out that was, they wanted him to go offside there because they wanted to make it 1st and 10 instead of
1st and 5.
Because if they got a first down, then they were dead, right? But Rokon decided to mug a guy and get a 15-yard penalty for no reason at the end there. But, it was like, let's face it, Lamar made 2 good plays. That one great throw for a touchdown.
Awful.
But a great
Horrible.
touchdown pass early, and then the pass he completed to himself. And beyond that, they kept him contained, and he doesn't throw well if he's throwing on platform, as they say. You know, when he's throwing from the pocket, he's not nearly as good.
Well, and obviously Mahomes and Kelsey, the pedigree, but their defense is what's gotten them this far.
They've been the second half of the season. Their defense has been good. Yeah. So anyway, yes.
Detroit Frisco.
Yes.
Dan Campbell's a dummy.
Yes, he is.
He's a dummy. Now, they might love him in Detroit. As you said earlier, they probably love him less now. But
Got ejected.
You guys were there. I know he's super fan. But you don't go for it at 4th down at that point in the game from that position.
No,
it's just ridiculous.
You're up 24-7. They get the ball. You hold them to a field goal. You know, so it's 24-10. Now, about 5 minutes later, you have a chance to restore the 17-point lead.
Yep.
It's a non-decision.
Right.
There's nothing to think about.
Right.
Because the difference between leading by 17 and leading by 21 is not as great as the difference between leading by 14 and leading by 17.
Correct.
Because you're over 3. It takes 3 scores. Because even with 2 2-point conversions, that's only 16. Even you, math guy, can figure that out.
I could do that.
And that's the thing that drove me nuts is it's a math equation at that point. You're whittling down the clock.
Yes.
The further you get into the game with that big of a lead enhances your chances of advancing.
Campbell played 11 years.
Yes.
And he got hit in the head too much.
Yes. But you're 8 now. You're right though, Chris. Now you're 8-9 minutes into the second half.
Yes.
And you're still ahead by 17.
Exactly.
What a country.
What a country.
It's great. It's great. I was watching. I said, no, dummy. No.
What are you doing?
Yes,
I kept saying that he did it twice.
You've done it. Well, the other time he passed up the tying field goal too.
Right.
Which was ridiculous.
And then
Did you see the kicker on the sideline?
No, I guess I didn't.
The kicker was on the sideline going, what the? Let me tie the game up.
I'm here. I'm not hurt.
Put a little pressure on him. Tie up the game. Yeah, it was. He spent all year with this boisterous, we're going to go for it. We're going to be bold. But you got to be bold and smart, not bold and stupid.
Well, that's just it. This wasn't a regular season game in November.
You can be bold and stupid in September.
Yes.
Right, but I guess what I'm trying to say is if that's your quote unquote your thing, all right, I understand if you're going to even like the end of the Cowboy game. Remember he kept going for 2 and it kept not working and everyone's saying kick the extra point and tie the game. But he just kept overthinking it with this macho bull crap.
Yeah. So he's a guy that he comes in there, and this is only his second year, right?
No, third.
He comes in there and with this whole boisterous attitude, and you look at him, boy, this guy's a buffoon. But all of a sudden he's got a good team, and he gets together, and now he's so caught up into being the gambler, and it's all, you might think you're a great leader of men, but you made it all about yourself yesterday. It's all about that image of yours instead of winning the game, for God's sakes. It was awful.
Well, I didn't. They weren't enjoyable games, really.
No, it didn't
The
compare.
previous week was.
Didn't compare to that Sunday of last week when you had two great games.
And now the Super Bowl, to me, has just always been sort of anticlimactic anyway. And in Vegas, it's going to be hedonistic as hell. It's just
would have
gonna
been fun if Detroit would have made
Oh,
it.
it would have been wonderful.
Yeah, and it's I don't care about San Francisco. Here's the other thing about San Francisco. I mean, not San Francisco, about Detroit. How can you let Brock Purdy turn into, Michael Vick Jr.? I mean, tackle him, for God's sakes.
You're down on Purdy, aren't you?
Well, he played, he took advantage of it. He's not a terrible athlete. Everybody sees a white guy that was the last draft choice. But when he runs out of the pocket, he shouldn't be able to run 20 yards untouched.
Right.
About 3 different times, he hurt him more doing that than he did throwing the ball.
Yeah.
And you know what else bothered me about Campbell? The Reynolds dropped 2 passes, although the first one, where they went for it when it was 24-10, would have been a tough catch. The ball wasn't there. The second one, he drops the ball on the goal line and basically cost him the game. And Campbell gives him like the supportive slap on the back.
Right.
I would have been much better if he would have grabbed him by the front of the jersey.
Right.
I would have thought that I would have been more impressed with that. But poor Detroit's got to know, we aren't getting back here. This is not for 5. We're not coming back. We're not getting back here. We had a chance and he screwed it up. No matter how much you like his big bravado personality and he fits the town and all that crapola, you're not getting back there.
Nope.
This is
It's
it.
too damn hard to get back
Yes,
there.
it is. It's too bad. You had to, as you pointed out 2 weeks ago, they had to win a game where he kept trying to screw it up by going for 2. Chris did.
Yeah.
So it would have been great, though. I would have loved to see the Lions in the Super Bowl.
But that didn't prevent you from taunting all the Kirk fans yesterday on Twitter.
Oh, that's right. A little bit. But then it turned out Kirk would have played better than Lamar.
Oh.
Do you think Lamar's going to be a little sheepish when he has to take that MVP award on the Thursday night of
Probably.
Super Bowl week? He should walk up there like this, because he's going to win it, I guess. But I would have thought more of Campbell if he'd come out after the game and said, I screwed up.
Did he explain that? I didn't read the quotes.
Well, this is the way we've been all year.
Oh,
blah,
yeah.
blah, blah, that same crap. It was awful. It was, your 2 sons could have said, what's he doing?
We all said it at the same time. My oldest says, why kick the field goal?
Yep.
He's 12 and he knows that.
He knows enough math to know
Yes.
that in football, I always said as a kid, I learned to count by 7s.
Yes.
7, 14, 21, 28, 35,
That's
42.
right.
From football. So Will can count by 7s.
Yep.
He knows leading by 17 is good.
And you keep going. The further you get into the game with that lead,
Yes.
increases your chances of advancing.
Yeah,
But
it was
that's too bad. It's too bad.
Yes, it is.
Because I was rooting for the Detroits too.
They filled Ford Field yesterday.
Yeah.
Just to watch the game and get happy. And
You know who should have showed up at Ford Field and taken a bow yesterday? Matt Millen.
yeah,
Matt should have came up and they would have even cheered Matt if he walked in.
Oh my God.
They could have recreated the time that they were chasing the fan around the stands with the Fire Millen sign like this.
Remember his because wasn't his first draft pick Joey Harrington, and he said,
Yes.
"Joey will lead us to the promised land." Joey Harrington.
Joey, who I saw in the Sun Bowl against the
Gulfs,
Glen Mason, very good game. Joey looked good that day. I think he overdrafted him, but a lot of people thought
he
Joey
went
was going to
top
be good.
5, didn't he?
3rd or something.
Yeah, something like that.
how did Isaiah Pacheco become what he's become?
I don't know. He's a little tiny guy.
At
He just-
Rutgers.
Yes.
The
There was a-
Gophers beat Rutgers, didn't they?
There was a great piece on him, though, pregame. Well, obviously, would have been done by CBS. He had the chance to go to a better school, but apparently, because of family, that's why he stayed
He's
at
a
Rutgers.
New Jersey kid.
Yeah, he
He's
stayed
about
at Rutgers.
5'9",
Yeah,
isn't he?
yeah.
He looks like a.
Boy, he's good, though.
Yeah, he is.
He is really good.
I'm a little worried about him when he's about 42, though.
Oh, yeah.
If he knows what planet he's on or not.
Well, they're all going to be.
What's your line? He's going to look at the moon.
Well, they're going to think the moon's a bowl of spaghetti. They got nothing going for them when they.
I mean, he just sticks his head down and runs into all these huge human beings, and half the time he comes out the other end. These players too have with Andy Reid have been recyclable, except for Mahomes, but the running backs. And, he's gone through about 4 or 5 running backs.
Well, the Reusse kid, the rookie receiver they got, he's turned into a player.
Yeah. How about, though, our guy Valdez Scantling, who's got the worst hands in America, won the last 2 games for them by making a catch at the end so they can run out the clock.
He's got one job. Catch that one pass at the end of the game.
But I thought Mahomes, there's only 17 points, but Mahomes was great yesterday because he didn't make any mistakes.
Nope. Well, did he tie Gannon's consecutive streak? Is that what it was to start a championship game? The most consecutive passes without an incompletion.
How many catches did Taylor's boyfriend end up with?
11.
He passed Jerry Rice.
Yeah.
No, he was at one time he had 11 targets and 11 catches, and I think he might have caught another one.
Does she know that she's going to be feeding him spoon-fed soup here when he's about 40?
It'll only last 3-4 years anyway if she does. I want video of that wedding though, with the other guy as the best man.
With his shirt.
You know what they're going to do? They're going to kidnap her and take her to the bar.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
right on Payne Avenue.
Yeah, like it's somewhere in Stearns County. It's going to be a Stearns County wedding, man.
And he's going to have the tuxedo T-shirt on.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It'll be a hell of a wedding.
But tight ends are horribly beat up in football.
Oh, God.
And he's going to be sitting on a rocking chair.
Yeah, well, nobody's caught more passes than him, which means he gets hit every time, right?
Yep. Boy, he's good, though. Couple of those.
34, man.
11. He did have 11 catches.
He got the big meat hands.
Yeah.
You know.
And they say he's wilder than the shirtless brother.
Really?
Travis,
he's calming it down, though, for...
he's got to put on his best behavior.
Yes, right. Yeah, he's on probation, probably.
If she gets down on the field, boy, the girls love that.
Oh God, did they?
They were in heaven.
Were you even allowed to switch to the San Francisco game, or did you have to stay with the post game?
Stay with post game until we knew she was in her car.
She was in her car leaving.
You had to wait till CBS switched to...
I missed the kickoff.
How many witnesses did we have?
Oh, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Six witnesses.
Yeah.
And
I'm not going to tell you who, but one of these morons was wearing their Kansas City Chiefs socks.
Oh, boy.
Not going to say who.
Okay. Okay.
Not going to say who. No. I know, but I'm not going to say who either. No. So
it's just nice, though, that you guys get to carry this on throughout the entire NFL season.
Oh.
Yeah, and now we got a Super Bowl too.
So will this spill over to
fly back from Japan?
12 hours.
15.
Oh, is it 15?
15.
Wow.
Yeah, but I don't think she's in the back of the plane.
No, I don't think so. She probably got a cod or something.
Yeah.
So let me ask you something. Is this going to spill over to the off season? Are you guys going to huddle around for the draft and see who the Chiefs are going to take?
I'm not.
No. Okay.
No, I think we only have Chief fever if she's in the building. Right?
I see. Yeah. Okay.
And if the Super Bowl, if she's not in the building for the Super Bowl, I'll be able to watch it with somewhat of a peaceful.
Yeah, but she's going to be there, right?
Yep. Yeah. Maybe you should do like the Santa tracker for Taylor's plane.
You serious, Clark?
How did this come about?
I don't know.
What do you mean?
It's fun. What the hell?
Oh, yeah, it's fun. But how did he ask her for a date?
He apparently said something on his podcast.
Oh, about how he'd like to have a date.
He goes, why can't I be the guy that dates Taylor Swift? And apparently that's all it took.
And her marketing people said,
this might not be
pretty good. I got Mahomes. And
fighting chance they're going to make the Super Bowl.
Yeah, right. This could be good for business. Does she have endless energy that she can go do this and then go out and do her 3-hour show 2 days later? I mean,
if he had any wits about him, he'd say, "Honey, you don't have to go to the Super Bowl. Stay in Japan."
But this is love, Joe.
I'm not sure.
If she wanted to come back and she didn't have her own private jet, the NFL would send one
You're
together.
damn right.
They'd shut down every other plane so they could fly supersonic.
We've always said they're golden. They can't do anything wrong, but this came out of heaven.
Oh,
this
yes.
But do they even? It's Vegas. Do you need anything extracurricular in Vegas? It's Vegas. It's going to be crazy.
You don't.
Although there was a great line that said, I think it was a Raiders beat writer or something. It said, of course the Chiefs would have a playoff game at the Raiders Stadium before the Raiders did. Because they just hate each other.
So what's the stat? He's been in the league 6 years, Mahomes.
7, but he didn't play his first
as
year.
a rookie.
Okay, but once he started playing, he's made all 6 conference final games.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
And
That's pretty good.
this time he had to go on the road.
And he won 4 of the
2.
6?
1, 2.
Yeah.
How many Super? He's only
Well, this
won
is
2
his 4th Super Bowl.
He's only won.
He's won 2, and then they lost to
one.
Tampa.
Lost to Tampa.
So he's won 5 of the 6 games, or 5 of
4.
the
4 of the
4 of the 6 conference titles.
They lost to Brady and the Patriots the first year.
They lost to Cincinnati.
And then they lost to Cincinnati. At home, they lost to Cincinnati. In fact, both of those were losses at home. That's right.
Well, he never played a road
playoff game.
A lot of the Hunt women were gathered around the trophy too yesterday.
Okay.
I'll say.
Yeah.
Lamar's granddaughters probably by now. Huh?
Well, who's Clark Hunt?
That's his son.
His son, yeah.
Well, his wife was there.
Yep.
She's attractive.
Clark.
Then they have a daughter who kind of pretends she's running the team.
I believe Clark wants a new stadium, right?
Is that right?
That's what I heard.
They have such a great setup down there.
It's a nice stadium.
Well, you know who wants a new stadium, too? The Royals.
Do they?
You know, I just...
You ever see the way they're aligned? You
I
ever
love
see
that setup.
Well,
Yeah.
do you know why they're aligned like that?
They were going to have a roof.
The roof was going to go back and forth. They ran out of money.
that's right.
Yeah.
Didn't quite have the tech. They don't know if they had the technology or not. But, I just don't know if the Royals' status in town right now, after they lost, 108 games.
They got a wonderful ballpark.
I know.
They just won a World Series.
I don't know.
Of course, that was 9 years ago.
15. I don't think their status in town is enough to. I would say if these Chiefs say, we want a $300 million improvement, they'd say, where do we sign,
Yes.
baby? So
I hope they keep it in the same area. That's all I care about. How about the Valley Group? If I wanted to park my Valley Group vehicle at that
Is
stadium.
this the pause?
Before the pause.
this is before the pause. Yeah. Jim Paul, Brett Paul, Valley Group of GM dealers. Holidays are over. You still need that new car, not to go through the snow, apparently. But they got the good assortment of SUVs out there, the Buick SUVs. They got the Sierra trucks, which Joe assures me is a GMC product. But they have those, and I've looked at the ads. They got the good deals on those, good interest rates. I think last time I looked, 0.9%. 0.9%.
They probably got some EVs.
That's free money. Oh, yeah, they got some of those. If Joe's not going there, but some of the other people might.
Yeah. I'm not an EV guy.
You're not an EV guy. But if you were, you'd go to Jim Paul and Brett Paul's Valley Group of GM dealers. I've been there for my last 5 or 6 cars. I'm going back one of these years. And I recommend them highly. Apple Valley, that's where I've always gone. But Hastings, they have a store out there, too. It's the holidays are over. Take a little time. Go out there on a weekend and check out the inventory and see what catches your fancy. That's what we used to say. Catches your fancy. Jim Paul, Brett Paul's Valley Group of GM dealers. Hastings, Apple Valley. Try them out.
If you had time, would you like to put a little wager on the Timberwolves at OKC?
I like OKC tonight, yes, the way the boys are playing. Although OKC just lost to Detroit, so they must be feeling bad too. But I don't know. They're flattening out. They're flattening out here. They were 31-10 at the 50%, the halftime of the schedule. I'm thinking more 500 the second half.
Really?
I know this. They got flaws. They got 2 guys who play kind of empty-headed. Edwards and their stars both can be empty-headed. Edwards and Towns, and Mike. But the worst thing is Michael Connolly's approaching 37 years old, and right now he's got a hamstring. Didn't they say it was a hamstring? That could.
He's important.
You try to play without him for 10 games, and we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I took in a lot of the Saturday night affair against the Spurs.
Oof,
Give that Wembanyama a couple years, he's going to be unstoppable. Mm-hmm. He was hitting threes 10 feet behind the line, and I'm thinking he's 7'5".
He's 7'5", and I happened to across the Kentucky game the other day. They have a guy from Europe, someplace, that they've been trying to get eligible through NCAA guidelines for like 3 months. They finally got him out there. He's about 7'3", and he's the same as this guy. He's dribbling and shooting, and you know what? The rest of the world is stealing basketball from us. The good players are coming. Half the good players are coming from Europe.
Are you trying to say that honest Coach Cal found a way?
Cal finally got him eligible. Yes, he did. And they were trying to run Cal out early this year. They were mad at him because they weren't playing that good. But they're scoring about 100 a game, and they got this guy now.
Hasn't Towns been pleasing lately? Hasn't he been mature?
Not when he got 62 and basically just shot any shot he wanted in the fourth quarter as they urinated away a home game against Charlotte. Which Charlotte, about 2 nights later, turned around and got beat by 35 or something by a mediocre team. So that's the thing about the 2 losses that have happened in the last week or so. Terrible teams that are trying to lose games, Charlotte and San Antonio. Oofed. But the other night, what were they up, Chris? 15 one time?
Against San Antonio?
18.
Yeah, I think it was bigger than that.
18-point lead.
Oh, man, that's not good.
Yeah.
Coach Finchie is. Everybody was mad at Finchie for the players he had out there on the court. So
and I can tell you,
lineup.
Every time they call a timeout, there's more coaches than players.
Oh yeah. We only have 6.
There's too many.
We have 6. Utah, I saw them when they were here. They had 9.
That's too many.
9 listed.
Wow. Who's the coach of Utah these days? Because they ran out Quinn. What's his name?
Yeah,
Quinn Snyder,
a young guy. Guy. And they looked like they were trying to tank early this year. Now they've won about 10 out of 12.
Because they have Danny Ainge, right? Doesn't he run them now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they do. But yeah, I'm the only team that I'm impressed less with is your Wild hockey team. I'm not.
They're not. They're very average.
Can't be losing to Anaheim at home when you're ready to go on. What's with the 10-day break in the middle of the season? It's weird.
Is it the All-Star break?
Yeah,
but then you get a bye week too, and they happen to put the the Wild and somebody else put the bye week next to the All-Star break, so they're off for 10 days.
Yep.
But it's not the Olympics, so it ain't that.
No, it's not.
But there are some NHL games this week, aren't there?
Yes, but there's only like 4 teams that get their bye week this week or something. I didn't know they negotiated a bye week. I don't know why.
I was trying to find it, but apparently on Bally Sports they said this put a real big damper on Hockey Day in Minnesota when they lost to the Anaheims.
Yeah. Well, boy, Hockey Day in War Road, great site for it, but they didn't get much publicity in the local. I don't know if St. Paul did anything with it.
Oh, hell yes.
Did St. Paul do
Plus, the TVs went crazy about it. It's a big deal.
The Star Trombone didn't do much with it because nobody wanted to go to War Road, I guess. Did somebody from St. Paul go to War Road?
I couldn't tell you. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you something, though. The Wild are very average, if that. Just an average team.
Yeah, because you end up blowing it. They talk about, they led going into the third period. Yeah, 2-1. Come on, get some goals. Let's go here.
And if I was running the show, I would tell the commie, you don't have to pass. Just do whatever.
Just keep shooting.
You just shoot. Just shoot.
You know who their best player is? Eck.
Eck's not bad.
Eck's a good player.
And Johansson's been good. The guy they got from the Rangers, he's been good. But Eck is pretty good.
Eck has got 21 goals, and he's a great defender. And his name is Eck. I don't know why we can't just put Eck in the headline.
That you're going right where Charlie had a question for you. I'll summarize because I can't find it, but he said, is now an okay time for the brand new coach to use the player's nickname, or does he still have to wait? according to Reusse. Has he been here long enough now?
What do you think Eck is? He's probably Exy.
Exy.
Yeah.
His name's too short. We got to add it as I. Yeah, I guess so.
You're going to allow it now.
Although they
a weekend was a bit too
What do you
short.
think Kasparov is? He must be Casper.
Caspi?
I don't know. Or Kami. Maybe they call him
Maybe just call him Connie.
There you go. Could be.
Red. They call him Red.
$300 million for the
What are they going to do? There's nothing to do.
Supposedly they want more expensive seats downstairs.
Well, how do you? There's no room for them.
I know, but the other thing is they're going to try to. You're charging people $150 to sit down there already. What are you going to charge them?
Yep.
There's not an endless supply of money in Woodbury, is there?
No, nor is there in St. Paul.
No. Let's be satisfied with opening the doors. And
It's
you know what
it's
you
still
need?
a state-of-the-art building.
Yep.
Yes. The only thing they need is a bigger merchandise room. You know.
Oh, are you kidding me? They got one the size of Dayton's.
No. It's not big enough.
Oh,
Well, maybe the one inside, the one on the ground level is not that huge, right?
well, once you get in the rink, they got a beauty.
Okay,
They got a big store.
Yeah.
You know, you can get playing cards and pucks. You can get everything. You can get a hat.
You been to a game this year?
Not yet.
They're turning you off here. You might not show up.
I wanted to see Bedard, but now he's
out.
shelved.
Yeah, out for the year, right?
I
Is that
think so,
right?
yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Busted jaw.
That was good. That was a nice cheap shot.
Well, plus the way they're playing, why bring him back at this point?
Yes, that's
Let him
true.
get thoroughly.
And maybe get the
healed.
number one draft choice once again.
Yeah.
2 in a row. Wow. Yeah, I think we ought to go for the draft. You got to get a top 8 prospect who can score goals, right?
You need another commie.
Yeah.
You need 2 commies.
All right.
One's not enough.
I don't know. Do those guys over here making all our good capital money, do they have any second thoughts about the homeland
You would think
these
so.
days?
Although the commie spent the off season fishing in Siberia.
Really?
Oh yeah, he's an outdoorsman.
Yeah.
Well, what was it?
Somebody should tell him. We got lakes, Brainerd
Yeah,
area.
you can go on up there to Gull.
Yeah. I don't know if
That's
he's a
right.
golfer.
I don't know.
We
One
got that,
more
too.
thing, you and I agree on this, and then we'll go. We do not like the field that we saw play this weekend at Torrey Pines. That was terrible.
I didn't know who they were, and that's
I
a
didn't
first
know.
for me.
Yes.
I looked at the leaderboard on
really-
Friday. I had no idea.
Is this
I think
because of the
we're
Live
We're
tour?
seeing
That's
the
part of
difference
it.
that Live did, and then their adjustment to Live by making these designated tournaments, which means here's a tournament that's been going on forever, and it's not a designated tournament,
Right.
so nobody plays it.
Well, as an experienced golfer of that course, I was available.
You own that course.
I do.
That's where you went with your bag, right? You had a
Only went just to taunt the mayor. It's the only reason I paid the green fee.
Oh, it was gorgeous weather. It was
I've never
just-
played there. I've been there with the Dream Team, but I never played there.
I've driven by it.
Oh, it's a gorgeous course.
I've never-
Joe, you'd like it.
I've never
Did
played.
you play the South or the North?
I get
Which one's the
whatever
hard
one's
one?
closer to the clubhouse.
I think the North's hard.
North's harder. Yeah, I think the North is harder.
Whatever they let the riff. That's
So
probably the
when
one
are
they
we
let me
at
at.
the Bing Crosby this weekend?
This coming weekend.
They'll probably have a horrible field too.
That's
had a
one of my all-time favorites. So to watch that course. Oh.
Well,
The clam bake, it used to be called.
yes,
Remember?
we.
Where is this
When
at?
I was talking
Pebble
to,
Beach.
Oh.
When I was talking to Gilbert for the column I did, he reminded me that he became the backup North Star writer because Nettie went to the Crosby and the Masters.
Nettie
he
could
got to
cover
go-
anything he wanted.
Nettie loved the Crosby. Always the Minneapolis Tribune with 3 pages a day and no budget, but Nettie always went to the Crosby.
So back then they had more than 3 pages and a big budget.
Well,
He covered everything.
and with the pipe.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes. And for your favorite word, frosty.
It was a frosty morning. They play a Vikings preseason game in August. It was 90. That field would be frosty.
Nettie. He was a beauty. He got run out of Golf Digest for rather bad situation, which I'm not going to get into.
Yeah.
So,
Is he alive?
No, he died 10, 12 years ago.
Yeah. Wasn't he from Worthington or where the hell was he?
Down there someplace.
Yeah.
Where was he from? Wilmer. He was from Wilmer.
Wilmer.
He was a goalie. Goalie for the Wilmer hockey team that made the state tournament and had the misfortune of running into John Mayasich.
I don't think he had equipment.
No, he didn't.
Life magazines taped to his shin.
Yes. Evelyn, they named the score, I believe, in that meeting with Wilmer, or they played him one time. Nettie told me about it one time. Nettie and I, my greatest moment with Nettie.
I can't tell mine on the air.
No, nobody can. But my greatest time is we're in Chicago, and I've watched Blazing Saddles on TV in New York, on the Spectrovision in New York. And Nettie's on the Twins road trip with me. And and there was a downtown theater not far from Wayne. And I said, Nettie, this afternoon, instead of lunch, I'm going to take you to Blazing Saddles. I never saw a man laugh as hard. Every inappropriate joke, Nettie damn near lost his spleen. He was laughing so hard. It was a highlight of my Nettie-dom right there. All right, we're done. See ya. It's the new year, and everyone is talking about their resolutions. Resolutions are based on topics for which we have become complacent. The Canopy Group has a New Year's resolution for you. Last year, over 2,700 Minnesotans conquered their complacency and contacted the Canopy Group for their home and auto insurance needs. That is an easy call because 80% of those people had only one agent with one company. No options. The Canopy Group offered them 40 professionals with 16 companies. Many options. The Canopy Group's New Year resolution has always been to annually examine every existing Canopy client. Each and every day, the Canopy Group team is reaching out to their client base and moving many clients from one of their 16 companies to a different company that they also represent. This is a great call for the Canopy Group to make because it is their ongoing promise to always provide their clients with the best coverage at the best price and forever doing away with insurance complacency. Call 800-967-3389 or visit thecanopygroup.com.